the global energy market is in turmoil. Gas prices in Europe have surged by nearly 70%. Crude oil has jumped from $70 to over $120 per barrel. And the near blockade of the Strait of Hormuz has shaken global supply chains. Across Europe, the impact is immediate. Petrol prices in Germany are up 18%, Spain by 34%, and diesel in Portugal by nearly 17%. Even inflation is rising. Eurozone inflation climbed to 2.5%, driven largely by energy costs. But here is a twist. Despite importing 88% of its crude oil, India has not seen a similar surge at the pump. Petrol, diesel and LPG prices mostly stable. So what is going on? The crisis began at the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow passage carrying nearly 25% of the world's oil. As tensions escalated in West Asia, supply chains faltered, LPG shipments dropped, India's imports fell sharply. Under normal conditions, this would have triggered a massive price spike. But India moved fast and smart. Instead of relying on one region, it diversified its supply. The United States stepped in with pre-contracted LPG supplies. Russia ramped up crude exports, even rerouting shipments via the Cape of Good Hope. African nations like Nigeria and Angola filled critical gaps. Even Argentina contributed small but vital LPG volumes. Yes, costs went up, shipping took longer, insurance premiums surged. But one thing stayed intact: supply continuity. India didn't just rely on markets, it used strategic power. Under Operation Sankalp, naval escorts protected energy shipments, diplomatic channels ensured limited access through Hormuz. The result? No supply collapse. But supply alone doesn't explain everything. The real game changer: price control. India absorbed the shock instead of passing it to consumers. Oil companies absorbed losses worth rupees 40,000 crore. The government compensated about rupees 30,000 crore. LPG price rose only rupees 20, just 7%. Meanwhile, excise duties on petrol and diesel were cut. Export taxes were imposed to boost domestic supply. One fuel got special attention: diesel. But why? Because diesel powers everything: transport, agriculture, supply chains. Nearly 70% of India's freight runs on it. If diesel prices rise, everything becomes expensive. By keeping diesel stable, India controlled inflation across the economy. At home, India strengthened its buffers. LPG production increased by 28%. Piped gas connections expanded. Strategic reserves covered 74 days of demand. A layered defense from global to local. So did India escape the crisis? Not quite. It did something more strategic. It changed how the shock travels through its economy. The real question now is, can this strategy last? Because the next global shock may test the limit of this balancing act. With this, I wrap up this edition. For more news, stay tuned to Uday India.